Refraction of light. So today we are going to discuss refraction of light. How the reflection takes place from the mirror. In this, instead of that mirror, when we take glass lamp, what happens to it? So, previous topic we discussed, when a light ray falls on mirror, reflection takes place. The light comes back into the same medium from a boundary separating two media is said to be reflection of light. This is called angle of incidence, this is called angle of reflection. Instead of this mirror, when we take glass slab, what happens to that? When a light ray falls on the glass slab, some portion of light, a small portion of light, reflection takes place. Maximum energy of light passes through the glass slab. Here we observe when a light ray traveling from one medium to another medium, what happens to the light? Light ray traveling from one medium to another medium, automatically the speed of the light changes. Here we observe, this is a ray of light, this is a glass slab. The light ray traveling from one medium to another medium. Then what happens to the light? For understanding this, I draw a diagram here. Take one container, pour some water, fill the container, half of the container filled with water, and take one torchlight. This is a ray of light. The light ray traveling from air medium to water medium. Here air medium, here water medium. This surface of the water, upper surface of the water dividing two media. This is said to be interface. So here we observe two media. One is the air medium, another one is the water medium. When a light traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, air medium to water medium, what happens to the light? Automatically the speed of the light changes. The speed of the light gradually decreases. So when the light traveling from air medium to water medium, it bends towards the normal. Already we know that what is the normal. Let me take this as a surface. We can draw one perpendicular line. We imagine this normal line is the imaginary. We can draw a normal. It makes 90 degrees. That is said to be. We can draw one line that makes 90 degrees with the surface. That is said to be normal. Already we discussed that. So if we take here one normal, it bends towards the normal. Here, for understanding this, I can draw one ray diagram here. This is the rarer medium. This is the denser medium. A light ray traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Automatically, let me consider this medium is rarer medium, this medium is denser medium. The speed of the light in rarer medium is v1. The speed of the light in denser medium is v2. So already we know that when the light traveling from one medium to another medium, it changes its original path. When a light traveling from one medium to another medium, it deviates from its original path. This phenomenon is said to be refraction of light. Once again I repeat this definition. This is a phenomena due to which light ray traveling from one medium to another medium, it deviates from its original path. This phenomenon is said to be refraction of light. For example, here, if the glass slab is absent, the light ray travels straight in path. Here, the glass slab is present. Due to that, the light ray changes its original path. It deviates from its original path. Here also, the light ray traveling from one medium to another medium, automatically the light ray changes its original path. It deviates from its original path. This phenomenon is said to be refraction of light. Here, this is the rarer medium, this is the denser medium. The speed of the light in rarer medium is v1. The speed of the light in denser medium is v2. The light ray traveling from rarer medium to denser medium deviates from its original path. So, the light ray bends towards the normal. Why? Because the speed of the light decreasing gradually. So here, this angle made by the incident ray with the normal is said to be angle of incidence. The angle made by the refracted ray with the normal is said to be angle of refraction. This is said to be incident ray. This ray is said to be refracted ray. So here, angle I is greater than angle R. The condition is when the light ray traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, angle of incidence is greater than angle of refraction. The speed of the light in rarer medium is greater than speed of the light in denser medium. Here the opposite condition, reverse case. Here the light traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. Denser medium to rarer medium means the light traveling from water to air. So here automatically the speed of the light in water is, let me consider, that is v2. The speed of the light in rarer medium is v1. So here automatically when a light traveling from water medium to air medium, when a light enters into the air medium, the speed of the light increases. Then it bends away from the normal. So light traveling here, the light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, the speed of the light in denser medium is v2, speed of the light in rarer medium is v1. So here v1 is less than v2, means v2 is greater than v1. So angle I is less than angle R. So angle of incidence is greater than angle of incidence is less than angle of refraction. So angle I is less than angle R. Condition: light ray traveling from denser to rarer, angle I is less than angle R, v1 is less than v2. When a light ray traveling from rarer to denser, angle I is greater than angle R, v1 is greater than v2. During diffraction, the first one is phase of vibration of particles. Phase of vibration of particles remains constant. So phase of vibration of particles, no change. And frequency remains constant. Frequency of light ray remains constant. Here only speed and wavelength, speed of the light changes as well as wavelength of the light changes. During diffraction we observe frequency is constant, phase of the vibration of the particles constant, and speed changes, wavelength also changes. Why the refraction occurred means because of two conditions we observe: when light ray traveling from one medium to another medium, and second one is the speed of the light changes. Due to that refraction, now we are going to learn laws of refraction. Already we discussed in previous topic laws of reflection. In that laws of reflection, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Incident ray, reflected ray, and normal at the point of incidence, all are lies in same plane. Here also we are going to discuss laws of refraction. Laws of refraction. The first law of refraction explains to us, that is Snell's law. What is the Snell's law? Here, when light ray traveling from one medium to another medium, it deviates from its original path. Already we discussed that. That is the refraction of light. Here, this is the incident ray. This is the refracted ray. This incident ray makes I angle with the normal. This refracted ray makes R angle with the normal. So Snell's law explains to us, this is the ratio between the sine of angle of incidence to sine of angle of refraction is constant. This is the Snell's law. The sine of, it is a ratio between sine of angle of incidence to Sine of angle of refraction is constant. This is the Snell's law. So here this is angle of incidence, this is angle of refraction. Sine, it is a ratio, means sin I by sin R equal to constant. What is the constant? For understanding this constant, already we discussed that when a light ray traveling from one medium to another medium, the speed of the light changes. For understanding that expression, we have to go to discuss refractive index. What is the refractive index? Here we are going to discuss this refractive index in two terms. One is the absolute refractive index, another one is the relative refractive index. What is the absolute refractive index? It is the ratio between absolute refractive index. It is a ratio between the speed of the light in free space to speed of the light in medium. So n equal to C by V. C means speed of the light in free space, V means speed of the light in medium. Here we are consider two media. One is the C means speed of the light in vacuum or speed of the light in free space. This is the speed of the light in medium. This ratio gives to us absolute refractive index. So n equal to C by V. So n equal to C by V. N represents to us that is the absolute. This is the symbol for refractive index. We have to represent refractive index with the letter N. N equal to C by V. So from this formula we can understand that if C is constant, why? Because why I am saying that the C is constant means the speed of the light in vacuum is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Already we know that 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So here refractive index, absolute refractive index, this is the speed of the light in medium. So what is the relation between them? This is inversely proportional. N is inversely proportional to V, we can write from this equation. The next, what is the relative refractive index? When a light traveling from one medium to another medium, let me consider here the light traveling from rarer medium to denser medium. The refractive index of rarer medium is, let me consider that is N1. The refractive index of denser medium, that we consider that is the N2. So here light traveling from rarer medium to denser medium. The speed of the light in rarer medium is V1. Speed of the light in denser medium is V2. So here I am going to find refractive index of second medium with respect to the first medium. So it is a relation between refractive index of second medium with respect to the first medium that gives to us relative refractive index. So refractive index of second medium with respect to the first medium, we can write N21. So N21 equal to N2 by N1, that equal to V1 upon V2. What is the V1? What is the V2? Already we know that V1 means speed of the light in rarer medium, V2 means speed of the light in denser medium. So here we observe N2 by N1 equal to V1 by V2. Why? Because the relation between N and V is inversely proportional. And N21 equal to, we can write 1 by N12. Refractive index of second medium with respect to the first medium, that equal to 1 by refractive index of first medium with respect to the second medium. So we discussed refractive index. It is classified into, one is absolute refractive index, relative refractive index. So now we are going to learn what are the conditions for no refraction. Conditions for no refraction. What is the first condition for no refraction? If the angle of incidence, for example, the light ray traveling along the normal, in this situation, angle I equal to 0. Angle I equal to 0, automatically there is no refraction takes place. Why? Because when light ray traveling along the normal, there is no refraction. And second condition is, if the refractive indices of both media is same, means the light ray traveling in single medium, so automatically there is no refraction. These two are conditions for no refraction. Here we observe N equal to C by V. So refractive index of absolute refractive index is inversely proportional to speed of the light in medium. So for example, speed of the light in glass, let me consider that is the V glass. Speed of the light in air, that is the V air. Then V glass is less than V air. Here also, the light traveling from air medium to water medium, the speed of the light in air medium is greater than speed of the light in water medium. So automatically we know that V equal to, according to formula, V equal to n lambda. V and lambda both are in directly proportional. So according to that, lambda glass is less than lambda air. Lambda means wavelength of glass, wavelength of light in glass is less than wavelength of light in air. So from this formula, refractive index of glass is greater than refractive index of air. So we can conclude that refractive index of denser medium always greater than refractive index of rarer medium. Refractive index of denser medium is greater than refractive index of rarer medium. So we discussed already the first law of laws of refraction. What is the second law of refraction? Incident ray, refracted ray, and normal at the point of incidence, all are lies in same plane. This is the second law of refraction. How to apply Snell's law to the situation? N1 is refractive index of first medium, N2 means refractive index of second medium. Refractive index of first medium, refractive index of second medium. V1 means speed of the light in first medium, V2 means speed of the light in second medium. So I am applying Snell's law to this situation. Here N1 refractive index of first medium into the sine of angle of incidence is equal to refractive index of second medium into sine of angle of refraction. So from this we can write sine I by, I want to take this term this side, so sine I by sine R, that equal to N2 by N1. Sine I by sine R equal to N2 by N1. Already we know that what is the relation between N and V, that is the inversely proportional. So we can write N2 by N1 equal to V1 by V2. So like this we can apply Snell's law to this situation. So next,
Snell's law. We know that light travels in a straight line through any medium of uniform density. However, the speed of light depends on the nature of the medium in which it travels. Distance moved by light in a given time in different media. When light travels from a rarer medium to a denser medium, its speed decreases. Whereas, speed of light increases when it travels from a denser to a rarer medium. It is due to this change in the speed of light that the ray of light bends as it goes from one medium to another. Thus, the change of speed of light as it travels from one medium to another is the cause of refraction. Refraction occurs right at the interface of the two media, and the angle of bending of a ray would depend upon difference of speeds of light in two media. AO is called incident ray. OB is refracted ray. NON dash is called normal to the plane surface XY, separating the two media. Angle of incidence represented by I, angle of refraction represented by R. Angle for refraction R is never equal to angle of incidence I except for normal incidence. The incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. In fact, the ratio of sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is a constant for the light of a given color and for the given pair of media. This law is also known as Snell's law of refraction after the name of its discoverer, Willebrord Snell. And this constant is called the refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first. The direction of the bending of light depends upon the optical density of the two media. In going from an optically rarer to a denser medium, the ray of light bends towards the normal. When light travels from an optically denser to a rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. When light is incident normally on a boundary of two media, no change in direction of light occurs. No refraction occurs at the boundary that separates two media of equal refractive index.
Activity 4. Reason. Bending of light ray away from the normal. Take a metal disc. Take a protractor and mark angles along the edges of the metal disc. Take two straws from the center of the disc and arrange them in a way that they freely rotate about the center of the metal disc. Move one of the straws and adjust it to 10 degrees angle. Immerse half of the disc vertically into a transparent vessel. Of course, they appear to be in a single straight line when they are seen from the side view with half of the disc inside the water. Find the angle among the normal and second straw. Draw a table in your notebook. Note down the values in a table. Repeat the same procedure for different angles. Measure the angles of refraction for different angles respectively. Note down these values of refraction angles in a table which is drawn in your notebook. Calculate the refractive index of water with the help of table. Do not perform this activity with angle of incidence greater than 48 degrees. In above activity, you have observed that the R is greater than the I in each case. That means when light ray passes from denser medium, water, to rarer medium, air, it performs in somewhat reverse approach to that of what we observed in lab activity 1. Since in this activity, the light ray passes from denser, water, to rarer air, we can generalize that the light ray bends away from the normal and R is greater than I. Now, let us learn about a law which relates the refractive index with the angle of incidence and the angle of refraction. It is known as the Snell's law.
Now I am going to discuss critical angle. What is the critical angle? Here the light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. The denser medium, refractive index of denser medium, let me consider that is the N denser. Refractive index of rarer medium, that is considered N rarer. If the light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, the angle of incidence in denser medium, for which the angle of refraction is 90 degrees, then the angle of incidence is called critical angle. Once again I repeat this definition. The light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, the angle of incidence in a denser medium, for which the angle of refraction in rarer medium is 90 degrees, then the angle of incidence is said to be critical angle. So here now I am going to apply Snell's law to this situation. Here beyond denser, into sin I, that equal to n rarer into sin 90. N denser into sin I, that equal to n rarer into sin 90. So sin I equal to C. According to critical angle definition, I equal to C. So n denser by n rarer, that we can write sin 90 by sin I. Sin I means sin C. Sin C, that equal to sin 90 value is 1, already we know that, 1 by sin C, that equal to n denser by n rarer, n denser by n rarer. So this is the critical angle formula. 1 by sin C equal to n denser by n rarer. We can write one side, n rarer by n denser, that equal to sin C. This is another formula for critical angle. What is once again I repeat this critical angle definition. The light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, for which the angle of refraction rarer medium is 90, then the angle of incidence in a denser medium is said to be critical angle. Now I am going to discuss total internal reflection. For understanding this total internal reflection, I will show one.
Ray travels from higher density to lower density in different angles. The refracted ray bends from the normal and the angle of refraction is greater than the angle of incidence. When angle of incidence increases, angle of refraction also increases. At a point, the refracted ray takes the path along the water surface and the angle of refraction is less than 90 degree. When the light ray passes from denser medium to rarer medium, the angle of refraction is 90 degree. The corresponding angle of incidence in the denser medium is called as critical angle. Total internal reflection. When the light ray traveling from denser medium, if the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, then the light ray doesn't enter into the rarer medium and reflects back into denser medium. This phenomenon is called as total internal reflection. During the phenomenon of total internal reflection, the light ray doesn't get absorbed or transmitted or refracted from the surface of separation of water. The light ray always gets reflected back into the denser medium.
Video. What are the conditions for total internal reflection? Here, the light ray must travel from optically denser medium to optically rarer medium. That is the first condition. The light ray must travel from optically denser medium to optically rarer medium. Here, the angle of incidence in a denser medium must be greater than critical angle. Then only the total internal reflection takes place. The angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle, then the total internal reflection takes place. So, what are the consequences of total internal reflection? I will show through one.
As you're going closer, layer by layer is actually disappearing. There goes a layer.
Right.
And see the next layer, right? This is amazing, right? Don't you feel we should understand how exactly this happens? And
Now, seeing water on a highway is one thing, but imagine a thirsty traveler traveling in a desert. He sees water. There is nothing more miserable than that, right? Let's understand why this happens. Basically, what happens is during day the land becomes hot. Because of that, the air molecules above are warm. but as you go up, it keeps on becoming cooler and cooler. That means right now at this level, if I hold my hand like this, I can clearly see the difference. That is, my lower hand is much more warmer in comparison to the above hand, which is much more cooler. So what we have understood is the layer at the bottom is more warmer, but as you go up, it gradually keeps on becoming cooler and cooler. Now, the light from the sun hits the object. The tree there is the object. After hitting the object, the light will reflect and it will enter the first layer. Now, the first layer is denser. Now, as and when the light is going from denser to rarer, it will keep on bending away from the normal. So, at each layer, what you see is the light is bending away from the normal. But at one point, what you will notice is light will hit at an angle which is greater than critical angle. And at that point, instead of light undergoing refraction, the light will undergo total internal reflection and enter my eye. Now, once it enters my eye, human eye always perceives that light always travels in a straight line. So now I can see the reflection there at the bottom. So the reflection of the tree is there. Similarly, the reflection of the cloud is also seen there, and that appears like water. So that is how mirage takes place. So let's summarize the key points. For mirage to occur, there has to be total internal reflection. And for total internal reflection, there has to be two conditions that needs to be fulfilled. The first one is light should always enter from denser medium to rarer medium. And the second condition is very simple. Light should hit at an angle which is greater than critical angle. So here are some amazing mirages that happen in nature.
Recap. Today what we discussed. Today we discussed refraction of light. When a light ray traveling from one medium to another medium, it deviates from its original path. This phenomenon is said to be refraction of light. What are the conditions for no refraction? I equal to 0. Angle I equal to 0. Angle of incidence equal to 0. There is no refraction. Refractive index of both media is equal. There is no refraction. During refraction, phase no change. Phase no change. Frequency is constant. Speed and wavelength changes. Frequency is constant, phase is constant, speed and wavelength changes. Laws of refraction. First law is Snell's law. Sin I by sin R equal to constant. Then what is the, again we discussed refractive index, absolute refractive index and radial refractive index, and incident ray, refracted ray and normal the point of incidence all are lying same plane. Critical angle. What is the critical angle? The light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. The angle of incidence in denser medium, for which the angle of refraction is 90 degrees, then the angle of incidence is said to be critical angle. Then what is the total internal reflection? Total internal reflection means, here condition is the light ray must travel from optical denser medium to optically rarer medium, and angle of incidence in denser medium must be greater than critical angle. And we discussed consequences of total internal reflection and conditions for total internal reflection.